Hello and welcome to Sunrise Cardcast, your one-stop podcast shop for all things hockey cards. My name is Eric Andrews, also known in the hobby as Hammerhawks. I'm joined by my co-host and fellow hobbyist Aaron Goldstein, better known throughout the hobby as Crease Collector. So before jumping into the main part of the episode, Aaron has yet another exciting PC edition to show off. So Aaron, I will turn the floor over to you, and you can tell us all about another big-time edition for your collection.
All right, so half of me feels really good about this pickup. The other half of me hates myself for coming on here another podcast episode and explaining, that I picked up another game used jersey on a hockey card podcast. So I'm kind of split right now. I don't really know how to feel, but yes, another game used jersey enters the collection for the Enroth PC. So if you listen to the past couple episodes, you'll notice that I picked up quite a few game used jerseys the past little while. Normally, we would stick with just the cards, but for bigger editions like this one, I think you have to kind of mention it. And so, like I said, another jersey addition to the collection. The other day, I picked up a 2012 national team jersey from Team Sweden. So pretty awesome stuff. For those wondering, it's the yellow one with kind of like the blue accents. 2012, like I said, so pretty cool, if I do say so myself. A Buffalo Sabres collector reached out to me a couple weeks ago, and I think they dabbled in some memorabilia dealings on the side. So I guess the Sabres goalies over the years kind of had their eye and, picked up a bunch of stuff. And one of those was a couple Enroth items. And of that lot, there was actually two Team Sweden jerseys, this one being one of them. I couldn't pick up both, unfortunately, but this one will have to do. This one was used in a couple international events. In 2012, it was used in a few of the kind of season tournaments that they had, not the World Championships, but not so much here in Canada, but overseas, the European clubs will, participate in a couple of tournaments with their senior team. And so this was used during the 2012 year, and it was used during the 2012 Euro Hockey Challenge, the Euro Hockey Tour, and the Channel One Cup. So in total, this jersey was used in 5 games and capped it up with a nice 4-1 win over Team Finland, December 15th. That was the last time it was used. So pretty cool jersey. Like I said, it's the yellow one. A fair amount of wear on this jersey too, considering it was used in just 5 games. You have some postmarks, some puck marks, and kind of like not a burn mark, but kind of like almost like the beginning of like a hole or something. I'm not sure if there was some sort of repair done there or something like that. But either way, really, really cool. I actually kind of like, and a lot of people are going to hate me for this, but the ads on the jerseys, I just want to be clear, I don't like ads on jerseys. But for the European thing, it's always been kind of their kind of trademark with their jerseys, whether it be club teams or national teams. So just having kind of the ads on the jersey, just give it a couple colorful accents, which I actually kind of enjoy. So I'm going to kind of eat my words on this next season when the NHL adopts ads on their jerseys, because I absolutely just hate the idea of that. So, but in this case, I kind of like the idea, on international jerseys. Again, it's kind of been their thing. So the ads on these ones I kind of enjoy, but for any other jersey, just get them off, please. So yeah, just it's such a shame that the NHL is going down that path, in my opinion. But I digress. We're going to talk about cards in a moment here. But yeah, just wanted to kind of give you guys a rundown on my recent jersey edition as part of my collection. For those who like cards and cards alone, feel free to kind of zoom past this portion. But yeah, I just want to highlight that edition right there.
Yeah, first of all, I would definitely agree with your opinion on the ads on jerseys. Unfortunately, it's kind of surprising it's taken this long, honestly, especially since the AHL has done it for many, many years at this point. But
That's right.
yeah, I mean, it kind of is what it is. It'd be nice if they would have just stayed true to not having any ads on jerseys, but it is what it is. And, from what I understand, it will be kind of done in the AHL style. So it shouldn't be too obnoxious, thankfully. But yeah, it is kind of interesting on some of the European jerseys. And like you said, it is just commonplace on those jerseys. And, this one obviously no exception to that. So cool to see that, and obviously, a really, really cool addition for you. Like you said, you have added quite a few Enroth jerseys to your collection of late, but getting a national team jersey is just a little bit different, something that, is probably, more meaningful to Jhonas himself, being able to represent his country. So, having that aspect of his career now represented in your collection as well is pretty cool. So, congrats on that. I know you were really excited about that, and obviously a very, very nice addition to your collection.
Thank you. Appreciate it. And one note about the NHL ads is that although they're going with the AHL style, that being a small, advertisement on the front of the jersey, I kind of wish they kind of color matched it. I mean, some ads are going to look like on their own, just kind of color matched, but some of them are going to kind of stick out more than others. So I kind of wish that if you're going to put ads on the front of the jerseys, if you color match it a bit, I guess it doesn't look that bad, but I guess obviously they're not going that route. So I don't know. Just one of those things you'd rather forget about.
Yeah, it seems like it's kind of a case by case. I know some teams, are able to do that, and some, it's just not possible. But yeah, either way, like we said, it shouldn't be too obnoxious, but kind of unfortunate, but inevitable nonetheless. So, turning to the main part of the episode, joining us now to discuss all things 2021-22 Upper Deck Extended Series is friend of the show and Upper Deck product manager, Billy Celio. Billy, thanks so much for taking time to join us. How are you doing today?
Doing great. I feel like I live on this show now.
Well, we always love
New
having you
home.
on. You're home. You are home indeed. So, first things first, since apparently not everyone learned this last year, can you start off by telling everyone what the name of the product is and what it is not?
We're talking about Upper Deck Extended Series, not to be confused with Upper Deck 3 or Series 3 or whatever you want to call it. And we'll go into it in a little more detail, but it's to answer your question, it is Upper Deck Extended Series.
It's good that you made that clear. Extended series went through a little bit of a change this year, closely mimicking, the flagship products, but it still kind of stayed true to that retro-inspired but insert-driven product. We don't want to go into specific details right now, but what kind of went into that whole concept, to make it more of like a flagship product, but also kind of stay true to its new roots, so to speak.
So as a lot of people know, Series 1 was filled with all holdover rookies, and we felt Extended did well enough that it was something that we wanted to bring back because we felt we could definitely improve on it, which I think we did. And with the fact that Series 2 is basically all the new rookies, there's going to be more than 50 new rookies skating in that period of time. So we do need someplace else to accommodate all those young guns for the rest of the season, or for at least the rest of the season before they become holdovers. So that's one of the big things that we wanted to do with Extended. Another thing, I would say last year, we kind of focused a lot on retro designs for this set. And they were kind of like baseball and basketball and a bunch of different like sports. And we really wanted to focus this year on hockey cards and hockey inserts. And I believe we did that. And I believe it's been well received with the consumer. They're seeing more, hockey fans are seeing more hockey cards that they collected back in the day in designs. And I think they're really liking that.
Yeah, no doubt. I think that was a good change for sure. And, like you said, has been pretty well received. So now starting to look at the actual content within the product, starting off with the base set, obviously there are plenty of additional players that were not featured in Series 1 or Series 2, as well as players who changed teams for the 21-22 season. But, and I know this is something that we've mentioned before, but probably the biggest thing of note within the base set is the Seattle Kraken inaugural game subset, which is actually separate from a handful of, quote unquote, normal Kraken base cards. And, like I said, I know we've, kind of previewed this in previous episodes, but can you just share about that specific inaugural game subset again and why it's important?
We kind of felt with Series 1 because, the set had to come out before the season even started, or like the checklist had to be made before the season even started. We didn't necessarily know in that time, who the Kraken were going to have. Remember the Vegas Knights, they got some players and then they were trading them immediately, when draft time came around to get more draft picks and stuff. So you never really know who is going to be on the team. Like we knew Marc-Andre Fleury was going to stay with the team. So we, obviously were able to make a card of him early, but we wanted to make sure that the Kraken fans still got a full dose of their team. And, being the inaugural season and everything. And another thing is we didn't have all-stars this last year. In the previous year, there was no all-star game. So we thought this would be an opportunity to make a different insert set with just guys that were suited up for the first inaugural Kraken game, because we saw the fan base of the Knights and how much they love their team right off the bat. It helps when you go to the Stanley Cup Finals your first year, but we saw the love, and we wanted to make sure that they got their players also.
Very, very cool. You alluded a little bit to it earlier about the Young Guns, but who would you say are some of the names to keep an eye on this year?
Oh, you want to know what? This is just one of those groups that, there's some guys that you might not have heard of, and there's other guys that I would definitely keep an eye out for. It's just a matter of let's see what they do next year. I wish I could pick a whole bunch of names, but that was one of the problems with last year's extended, was that everyone said there wasn't any like big names. And so we were thinking about that, but then you also, have to think about series 2, and you got Raymond and you got Sider. Sorry that I'm only picking Red Wings there in my in my talking, but yeah, I think there's some opportunities in there. I don't want to, how do I put this? I don't want to lead anyone in the wrong direction and they get all excited about a player here and there, and then maybe they don't skate again. So I'll leave that up to the consumers on that one.
Fair enough. But at the very least, I think people would agree that, this crop is deeper than last year's was for sure. And there is, a little bit more bigger name power, so to speak, at least as of, how things stand today. So that's definitely a positive for the product this year for sure. This is kind of a 2-part question, but one big addition to the product this year is the inclusion of the UD Canvas cards. And there were some big names included in the Young Gun checklist, such as Moritz Seider. And also with the Canvas cards, another fun addition are the UD Canvas mascots cards. So what can you tell us about the inclusion of the UD Canvas cards in the product this year, and specifically about the motivation behind including the Seider Young Gun Canvas card and those mascot cards?
The canvas cards came from feedback from people. Like they wanted it. I heard many people ask where the canvas cards are. And so we decided, okay, if that's one of the inserts that you want us to make for this set, because we have like 10 to 12 different kinds of inserts in this set, like different brands and everything like that. And that's one that people were asking for. So that just came from, people asking. And we didn't want to load up series 2 with everything. So we did, as you mentioned, held back the Seider Canvas Young Gun, which has been a big hit. And then the mascots, the mascot cards in MVP were a huge hit. And we're seeing that there's a lot of love for mascots. So we decided, well, mascots are always doing interesting things, always like having interesting poses and stuff like that. So why not make cool cards of the mascots also?
I really, really enjoy that. Another thing with what you just said about those sets is that you're taking, collectors' feedbacks, kind of working into, where possible, these future sets, and kind of building off, those ideas, and really giving the collector, what they really want. Another thing that I really enjoyed, and I'm sure a lot of collectors did also, was the 06-07 retro cards, which kind of built off the 05-06 retro cards last year. What can you tell us about those retro inserts this year?
You know what? We kind of wanted to, if we're doing this, we don't want to do the same retro year after year after year. That 05-06 design will just get repetitive, and it won't. It'll probably lose some value as the years progress. So why not just switch it up every year and just move a year on from the previous year? So that was kind of the decision. There's some designs that people, I mean, obviously the 0506 design is iconic, but people still remember the 0607 design. And, people will remember, the designs throughout collecting. And it's just kind of fun to bring some of the stuff back.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I fondly remember the 0607 Young Gun design and thought it was nice then and still think it's really nice now. Just a very simple and clean banner on the bottom. It just works really nicely. So fun to see those come back for sure. This is kind of a hot button topic, so to speak, that's been circulating online regarding the serial numbering for the 0607 retro cards and the exclusives being numbered out of 10 and the high glosses being numbered out of 100. Can you just shed some light on the backstory on those?
Yeah, so I've got a rock at my desk, and I don't know if I've told this story or not. I have a big rock from the old building, and I got it my first year of working at Upper Deck, and there was a Josh Anderson card in Team Canada Juniors that had the wrong picture on it, and there's actually two Josh Andersons in Team Canada Juniors. And this is one of the first sets I ever built. No pressure. Your first set you ever build is Connor McDavid's first Upper Deck card ever. But anyway, so I use that not to get all biblical, but, cast the first stone. People make mistakes. And unfortunately, it was a mistake made. Our vendors printed the wrong cards with the wrong numbers, and it wasn't executed as we would have liked. And, those are hard cards to get. And when we do case checks and stuff, we might not get one of those cards. We might get a regular exclusive or a regular high gloss from the base set. We might not get, one of the retros in our case checks. So to be able to find that during a case check after all the cards have been on the line and everything is, sometimes not always possible.
I, for one, really appreciate that. I mean, sure, it's a mistake, but honestly, like, maybe I'm, the minority here, but it's just one of those things that just happens. Maybe some people might think that's, getting Upper Deck off easy, I guess. But, to me, it's just, it happens, like you said, it's not always possible to, to catch these things because, it's not really printed in-house. So, I mean, it's pretty understandable that, again, sometimes these things happen, and that's kind of all you can say, really, it happens. Thanks for, being honest. Exactly. You can't really fix it. Aside from delaying the product, who knows how long at that point. So just one of those things, but anyway, we really appreciate you coming to bat for that stuff. Awesome.
No problem.
Awesome. Okay. Another fun retro insert is speaking of 0506, the 0506 Black Diamond tributes. Why were those included, and how do you think they turned out?
The Black Diamond cards, for years we've been hearing, there's people that like the old Black Diamond. They like the way it was set up. They like the 20-point cards. They're not big fans of necessarily the high-end Black Diamond that we've built since that a number of other people enjoy. So this was kind of an opportunity for us to kind of give some of these people that say they wanted the old Black Diamond to give it to them. And I thought the cards came out. They look just like the old ones did. Nice etched light FX. They look beautiful. The 4 stars are super rare, and I thought they were a very nice addition to the set. And that's one of those things where I said we went back to getting more hockey inserts as opposed to basketball and baseball inserts that we had in the previous year.
Yeah, no doubt. Definitely fun seeing those old designs, especially the more, iconic hockey designs that, people fondly remember, from a pretty important time in the hobby. And, of course, there are a number of other retro-inspired inserts in the product, such as the holographics, the 9900 SPX cards, the SPX finite cards, the triple dimensions reflection cards, and the UD3 cards. Is there anything about any of those specific insert sets that I just named that stands out to you?
I just like cool looking inserts, and I think the consumer likes them too. And all the ones that you just listed, whether they're shiny, whether they have foil, whether they're thicker cards like the SPX finite cards, they're cool looking inserts, and people remember them and remember that some of these cards were big time chase cards. And it also adds some more numbered cards to the set when you guys are going through the boxes. Now, here's one thing that I wanted to mention also. So one thing with extended that I've seen is, it's still breaking pretty well. Like I'll go online and watch breakers break it, and they're still filling up breaks. I'm seeing people that get their hands on a box and they're like, this was a fun rip. You just got to get it at the right price. And when I say the right price, I mean, this box wasn't intended to be like a $250 box. It's not intended to be a $50 box either, but this is a fun product. And one thing, when you break something like UD1 and UD2, there's the young guns, and then there's inserts, and there's a few things here and there, but not a lot of rookie content in Series 1, at least. And in Series 2, there's a little bit more rookie content. But say, and again, I'll use my Red Wings as an example. Say you've got the Red Wings in extended series. Well, there's so many different inserts that you could get Red Wing rookie cards of. A lot of the ones you just mentioned. And so it just kind of adds to the mystery and the fun of breaking and doing breaks and breaking on your own, that you're not just stuck on getting young guns for rookie cards. There's a whole bunch of other inserts. And then what's great too is, so you're getting rookie cards of a lot of people, and a cider young gun I think goes right now between $60 and $75. And so maybe one of these inserts might sell for like $10 to $20. So you're getting affordable rookie cards of guys that you want. If you can't afford to spend the $60 or $75 on a young gun, you're still getting, some Murray Cider rookie content, which is fun. And then there are, like I said, a lot of numbered parallels to a lot of these inserts that are very rare, that then the price on those go up quite a bit.
Very nice. We really appreciate that awesome and thorough breakdown of those really cool cards. And speaking of cool cards, probably my favorite insert set of the entire product, the record collection set and the parallels, to go along with it. What was the inspiration for those ones and bringing that into the product this year?
Okay, so I said I didn't try to do basketball and football and baseball inserts, but that's completely a basketball insert that I liked back in the day.
Too good to pass up. Too good to pass up. I like it.
Couldn't resist it. And what's funny is when that design was first made, it came back to me and the background was blue. I was like, no. I go, this background needs to be red. It needs to look exactly like the old one. Well, don't you want to change it up a little bit? No, I wanted exactly how the old basketball ones went. So it was a quick fix. I mean, these designers, all they have to do is click a button and they change the background or move the player. And I don't know how they do what they do. It's amazing. I wish I was that savvy with a computer and Photoshop and all that stuff, but they changed it to red, and I thought they came out very nice. We were lucky enough to pull one in one of our QA boxes. And I thought those came out great.
Yeah, for sure. And especially having the different parallels, like Aaron mentioned too, is a really nice touch to kind of mimic the various levels, so to speak, of old records too, which is a nice touch. Another thing included in the product are the 21-22 Upper Deck Trilogy cards. And, some people might not be familiar with the backstory on what happened with 21-22 Trilogy and why those cards are in extended. So can you just share a little bit about that?
Yeah, the past year or two, we've built a number of sets that unfortunately, not a number of, but we've built some sets that unfortunately in our vendors' calendar, because some of these vendors got backlogged, they got, they had to cut the number of employees that were there working, and just it was tough for them. And cards were so hot, all the companies are printing more. There's new companies coming in trying to print cards. And so it got to the point where, do we want to, there's a couple of sets that, we're sticking with, Clear Cut, that's a 2021 product. But that was one that we said, you know what, we still want to create this product. And we have someone that can print it for us. And it's just a matter of finding vendors and that can get it in on time. So unfortunately, Trilogy and Ice were two of the products that kind of got pushed to the side. And I think I hinted at this before on one of your shows. It's they haven't gone away. We're not going to leave a hole in the checklist for people to have their, Trilogy rookies. And I've known for quite some time that Trilogy was going to be an extended. As soon as I found out, I asked, can I please take this for extended? This will, be a nice insert for the set. And, my boss was like, sure, sounds like a good plan. And then I think it's already been mentioned, but Ice 2021 Ice will be a bonus pack in 21-22. So we haven't forgotten those sets. We just had to kind of move them.
One last thing to note, I guess I'm kind of like the throwback guy tonight. The 0102 retro Young Guns that were included, kind of like as like Easter egg cards. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
We always try to add a little bit of fun and excitement and stuff that when people are opening it and they look at the checklist and they're like, what is this? Like, where did this come from? Or, I didn't see this on the checklist. And it just adds a little bit of excitement. And, we try to make these cards extremely rare to add value to the cards also, and it kind of progressed. I think we did a retro Young Gun last year. Just like you see stuff in like UD1 where you have like Day with the Cup and then flashback Day with the Cup and then photo variations. And, we just kind of add to the list of Easter eggs each year, which is kind of fun. Like, that's why I always say each year's product is better, because you have all the stuff that you had the previous year and you're able to add even more Easter eggs into it. So it's just, we like to add some Easter eggs into it. Last year we had some Ionics cards in there also, which were a big hit. So it's just a little more fun for the consumer and a little more value out of those boxes.
Yeah, absolutely. So for 22-23 extended, are we going to then see the 2000-2001 Young Guns as Easter eggs?
Who knows what you'll find in next year's extended. I can tell you it's built, and there's some huge new content in there, which I'm really excited about, and some new inserts that I went with, and some old inserts that we went with. And surprise, surprise, I'm going to tell you right now, I think next year's is even better than this year's. Just like I said, this year's is better than last year's. But, we keep learning every time we build a set, what works, what doesn't. And luckily this year I had enough time that I could kind of get a feel for what this year's extended was going to do and what people liked. And I think you'll really like 22-23.
Awesome.
Break the news that there's extended next year.
True.
I think we just did.
True. I think that's all the questions we have about 21-22 extended. Is there anything that we missed that you want to talk about before we rip into a box?
No, I think you guys hit everything up. Yeah, I can't wait to see what you guys hit.
Yeah, obviously, two of the main things I'm hoping for the break would be some cards of Marc-Andre Fleury, since he's pictured with the Blackhawks, which I know, Billy, you're excited to see those cards. And as
you
well as
you guys fighting over that card?
Well, I would be interested in the NHL records of Brodeur. I'm kind of eyeing that one. So, if you pull that one, that has my name on it right there. If you pull the Fleury, then you can have that one. But the Brodeur records card is just, I really want that card. It's so cool.
Fair enough. That'll definitely head your way. So yeah, the Fleury cards for me. And then also, I know, Billy, you'll roll your eyes on this one too, but Josiah Slavin has hit some of his first NHL cards, that being the younger brother of Jacob Slavin. And he has his Young Gun in the product as well. So any Fleury inserts or Slavin cards would obviously be a big win for me. And then one other thing I kind of wanted to mention too before we get started, obviously there isn't a live video element of this box break, being that we are a podcast. And while it would be great to include the actual video of the break, that adds a ton of time on our end into the editing, the exporting, the uploading, all of those processes, since video files are significantly larger than just audio files. And I know this has been asked about before, so I just wanted to make note of it. And, we do occasionally do some live video box breaks, but that's pretty uncommon. So yeah, just wanted to address that, and hopefully you guys understand. All right, let's get ripping.
Tell me how easy those packs are to open. Are they tough, or are they
let's see.
Nice
Pack one was very easy to open.
All right. Sometimes they're a little tough.
All right, so let's see. So like last time, I'll just note the notable base cards. I won't read through all of them. So first pack, we have got, that's a good way to start. We've got a 99-2000 SPX Retro for the Toronto Maple Leafs, Austin Matthews.
Beauty Leafs card. Great way to start it. Love it.
Very nice looking card. Love that design. Loved it back then. Love it now. It's just a beautiful looking card. So that's a good way to start. And obviously one of the best names you can get. So very nice there. And base.
We were just talking about getting old before we started breaking this box, and now we have all these cool throwback cards. So I mean, man, that really makes me feel a little bit old. But anyway, I digress.
Hey, what's gonna scare me is when I'm building sets with retro cards of sets that I built. That's the one.
Yes.
When that happens to me, I'm gonna just kind of like curl up in a ball and just kind of cry for a second.
And then after you're done crying, build the set of the set that you built.
Yeah, because as much as like we like to redo 0506, it was a big year. It was, Crosby, Ovechkin and stuff. You just have a feeling 20 years from now people are going to want those McDavid retro cards.
Oh,
Like
for
Mhm.
they're going to
sure.
be
For
so like
sure.
iconic because of what he's going to be. So I can just see it happening.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to want those contours flashbacks.
Or the one with the flaming head.
Yes.
Full
That's going to be
force.
amazing. Yeah, the
Yeah.
full force throwbacks from 15,
Oh, I'm going to
16.
sneak those in somewhere.
Do
And they're
it.
going to be so rare. And people are going to be like, these cards are still insane, but they're so rare. They're actually worth something.
You should make those cards like hot to the touch. So they're basically on fire.
I don't know how to do that, but if we could, that'd be great.
It's the future. Anything's possible.
All right. So pack 2, we do have our very first Marc-Andre Fleury Blackhawks card, at least for me. It's one of the checklist cards of Fleury and Seth Jones. So that's cool.
Who says checklist cards aren't collectible?
So-
They're amazing.
Who gets the Fleury Vegas card? Because he has a Vegas card too for I think for being the all NHL team.
True. Yep.
Eric can snag that.
All right, we've got our first Upper Deck canvas card for the Vancouver Canucks, Oliver Ekman Larson. Obviously, a nice photo on that. I obviously love that the canvas cards always highlight that really cool and unique photography. So those are always really fun to see, regardless of who the player is.
Is there anyone you feel more sorry for having to sign their draft day marks than that guy?
He had a lot to sign, that's for sure. And got a base of Zdeno Chara back on the New York Islanders, which is pretty cool. On to pack number 3. It looks like we have our first Young Guns, and it is for the Tampa Bay Lightning, Hugo Alnefelt. So a goalie
Every
there.
break we have, the goalies are just there, one after the other. So every box that Eric breaks. So we'll see if that's a trend, which it will be.
And we have our first Kraken inaugural game of Jeremy Lauzon. So that's cool.
And those should all be images from the first game also.
Cool.
It's not just like they played, but I'm almost positive that those are all images from the first game.
What a
Nice.
great little attention and detail there. Love it.
All right, on to pack number 4. We've got our French variation for the Vegas Golden Knights, Matthias Janmark.
I'm very impressed that you were able to find the French variant call out because it's pretty
I
hard
always
to find.
miss it. I always miss it.
Yep. When we did our case check, people like they would give me the box that they opened up, and I'd be like, "How come there's only 23 hits?" And I'd have to go through all their base cards to find the French variant.
Yeah, that's usually how I am too. So I'm proud of myself for catching that. This is kind of an interesting occurrence. I just wanted to make note of it, even though you might not love it. But there were 2 Jake Bean base cards in this pack, and they are both just
Beanie.
base cards. No parallels there.
Maybe he's a twin. You never know.
His evil second twin.
That's
Interesting.
Josh Anderson and Josh Anderson right there.
All right, on to pack number 5. So we've got our 0607 Retro Young Guns here, I believe. So hopefully it's a good name. I caught a glimpse of the color scheme and it seems promising. So we'll see. It is, in fact, for the Anaheim Ducks, Jamie Drysdale. So that's a good name there.
Nice.
Again, love the design of those 0607 Young Guns. So really cool to see him come back. And obviously nice to get a good name there like Drysdale. And to pack number 6. Got our second Young Gun, but first we have an inaugural game for the Kraken, Jared McCann. And the Young Gun for the Washington Capitals, Alexei Protas. And base, pack number 7. Got a Kraken inaugural game, Nathan Bastian. Got a McDavid All-Star, NHL All-Star team card. And we've got our first veteran 0607 retro for the Colorado Avalanche, Nathan McKinnon. Obviously a
Love
good
it.
name there.
especially after their cup win.
Got an NHL All-Star team, Mitch Marner for the Leafs, and another Kraken inaugural game, Brandon Tanev. So love seeing all these Kraken cards. It's a lot of fun seeing their uniforms on cards and fun seeing all the players too.
It's going to be fun seeing an angry Shane Wright wearing that Kraken jersey next year. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, you got to do a photo variation from the draft of him glaring at the Canadian stable.
Game dated
Awesome.
moments or before the game moments.
Next pack, we've got another 0607 retro for the St. Louis Blues, Ryan O'Reilly, and more base, NHL All-Star team, Victor Hedman. Let's see, I believe this is pack number 9 here. Yeah, that if you do one of those Shane Wright variations, that would be absolutely amazing. That would be a hotly collected card for sure. I'm sure. Looks like we've got another Young Guns here for the Colorado Avalanche, Justin Barron. Kraken inaugural game, Mark Giordano. NHL All-Star team, Mikko Rantanen. Pack number 10, got an Austin Matthews NHL All-Star team.
Decent amount of Leafs cards in this break so far.
True. We've got another 0607 retro for the New Jersey Devils, Nico Hischier. And more base. Pack number 11, Kraken inaugural game, Jaden Schwartz. Newest Blackhawk goalie and former Toronto Maple Leaf legend, Peter Mrazek.
Love it.
Detroit, too.
That's true. He was great with Detroit.
Minor detail.
I've got some of his rookie cards if you want to buy them from me.
Fair
Now
enough.
that he's a soon to be Blackhawk legend.
True.
What's the most losses in a season?
I think you'd have to ask the Sharks
Maybe.
or the Capitals about that.
Are we talking about like NHL or all time? Because I think all time in all levels of hockey, I think I got that one in the bag. But anyway, I digress.
We've got a Triple Dimensions Reflections card. I've actually never had one of these before, so it's cool to see these. They kind of have almost like a rainbow sheen kind of like built into the foil, so that's really cool. Obviously, a good name being a rookie for the Anaheim Ducks and Captain Canada, Mason McTavish.
Nice. Those
That
look
dude
cool.
is fire right now.
Sure is. That was an absolutely amazing play that he made in that game for sure.
Such a game saver. Unreal.
Yeah, very nice looking card.
Let's just say he does not have to buy a beer in Canada ever again.
Exactly.
It goes Sidney Crosby and McTavish. Those are the two.
Pretty much. I mean, right now, McTavish might have Crosby beat.
I don't know. Beating the U.S. with a overtime goal, was it?
Oh,
Yeah,
we're talking about just like all-time Team Canada moments. That's true.
On to pack number 12, our halfway point, and it looks like we have another Young Guns here. First, we've got a Blackhawks base of Seth Jones. Cool to see. Next, Young Gun for the Arizona Coyotes, Giannis Moser. Decent name there. I think he has some upside as well.
We were talking about this off camera, but I'm almost tempted to just go to Arizona for a game just to see the atmosphere of, like, I've gone to Michigan State games and college games, and they're fun, but I can't imagine like a professional hockey team playing in a small arena like that.
It's going to be amazing, I think, but with all that student.
Exactly.
It's going to be so good. I hope the tickets are somewhat, cheap and not like turned into like some sort of like weird novelty this year. But honestly, it's going to be great.
They did that with the Chargers in football, where they played their home games at StubHub Center where the LA Galaxy play. And my friend got season tickets, so I went to a few games there. So, it goes from like, 40, 50,000 to like 10,000 or something like that. And those were a lot of fun. So I can only imagine just a small college arena. Right now, Eric's like, why did we keep him on during the break? He's talking so much. I'm trying to open my cards.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Next pack, you're going to have an Arizona card guaranteed.
It's giving me more time to appreciate this absolutely beautiful Ryan Dzingel base card that'll go into my collection.
Ooh, nice.
How sad is it, though, that Phil Kessel is not going to get to experience the Arizona? I mean, am I the only one that just imagined him like hanging out with the college kids doing keg stands and stuff?
They can throw him a hot dog from the final row of this arena.
Oh, man.
That's true.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of fun to be had in Vegas, too. But I was just imagining how much fun that guy was going to have in Arizona.
Oh well, wasn't meant to be. I guess he'll still show up as a visitor a few times, but yeah, that would have been interesting to see for sure. The hit of the pack is a holographics rookie for the San Jose Sharks, William Eklund. And these are really sharp looking cards this year with that kind of like bubble design in the background. Looks really cool.
I dig it.
Yeah,
And
holographics is always known to have like just a more unique pattern to their foil board. So we definitely looked for something that was more unique this year.
yeah, no doubt. And this is probably the best card of the break so far. We have a base card for the Detroit Red Wings, Alex Nedeljkovic.
I mean, future All Star, maybe. I don't
Of
know.
course.
Actually, I don't even think he's going to be starting next year, but
Probably
still.
not. All right, on to pack 14. Kraken inaugural game, Vince Dunn. And I almost dropped the hit of the pack because it is a die cut card. We've got a Jack Eichel Vegas Golden Knights base card, so that's cool. And the hit of the pack is a UD3 Future Impact rookie for the Nashville Predators, Tanner Jeannot. And that's actually one of
Nice.
the parallels because it is numbered 14 out of 100.
Oh, you got a rare one there.
Very nice.
Very cool.
Nice.
Well done.
Yeah.
So it's the gold spectrum.
Correct. Yep. It is one of
Nice.
the gold spectrums. That's a really cool looking card. And even it's a simple thing, but I love how the serial numbering on the back has gold rainbow foil on it too. Simple detail, but it matches the rest of the card really nicely. And a Kraken inaugural game of Jordan Eberle. I would think those parallels have got to be pretty hard to come by, right, Billy?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, think about how tough it is to get an exclusive. That's basically an exclusive card right there. And is there 50 cards in the set, I believe. So
that sounds right. Yeah.
yeah, so they're pretty darn hard to find.
Cool. And he's a decent name too.
Yeah.
All right, moving on here. I think this is what, pack 15, I think. Kraken inaugural game, Marcus Johansson. And a clear cut for the New Jersey Devils, Jimmy Vesey. Clear cut cards are always really cool. NHL All-Star Team, Cale Makar, or Cale Maker, as some people might call him.
Wow.
On to pack 16. Looks like this is the SPX finite card because I see a thicker one in there. First, we've got NHL All-Star Team, Andrei Vasilevsky. And yep, it is an SPX finite numbered out of 2,999 for the Boston Bruins, Patrice Bergeron. Those are always really cool. I remember those cards from back in the day for sure. Actually, I don't know if I've told this story on the podcast or not, but one day I was looking through a pile of cards on my childhood desk and came across a Gretzky SPX finite card from back in the day.
Nice find.
Yeah, for sure. It wasn't super low numbered or anything, but still a decent card for sure. I think I was able to get like $20 for it, so pretty nice little find. On to the next pack, we've got a Kraken inaugural game, Alex Wenberg, and our first 0506 Black Diamond Retro, and following up on the Leafs theme for you, Aaron, for the Toronto Maple Leafs, Mitch Marner.
Hey, now that's a nice looking card.
And more base. On to pack 18, we've got a Joe Thornton base card with the Florida Panthers on the back, so that's pretty cool.
Jumbo Joe.
We've got a Kraken inaugural game, Chris Dreger, and a young gun for the Anaheim Ducks of Bryce Kindop. Must admit, before I was doing my research today, I had never heard of this guy before, so can't say I know too much about him. And a Kraken inaugural game, Hayden Fleury, and that Joe Thornton base card with the Panthers with his amazing beard. Love that. On to pack number 19. Got another young gun continuing the Toronto Maple Leafs theme, Alex Steeves. And Kraken inaugural game, Ryan Donato. On to pack number 20. There's a nice one. A holographics NHL, which I think these might be like 1 in 40 or 1 in 60 packs. I can't remember exactly. But this is obviously a pretty darn good one. For the Edmonton Oilers, Connor McDavid.
Ooh.
Oh, I thought you were going to say
David.
Tyler Benson.
That's a
Wow,
very
that's
nice
nice.
card. That's very cool.
Excellent.
Love that. That's super
Big
cool.
hit right there.
Absolutely. 1 in 60 on those. That's a nice one. On to the final layer of packs here. So pack 21. I think we're still looking for a canvas card or two and maybe one of the Black Diamond rookie gems. Got a Kraken inaugural game, Riley Shahan. Got a UD canvas for the Los Angeles Kings, Phil Deneau. Kraken inaugural game, Philip Grubauer. And base. On to pack 22. NHL All-Star Team, Adam Fox. Kraken inaugural game, Jhonas Donskoy. And there's a good one. We've got an Upper Deck canvas Young Guns for the Carolina Hurricanes, Seth Jarvis.
Nice.
Definitely one of the bigger name rookies in extended for sure. So getting his canvas Young Gun is a very nice pull there for sure. Definitely happy about that. Got a Marchand NHL All-Star Team. Love the smirk on his face. He is definitely up to no good in that picture. Kraken inaugural game, Morgan Geekie. Pack 23, so we're down to 2 packs here. Duncan Keith on Edmonton Oilers. That will never not look weird. And we've got, I believe, our final canvas card for the New York Rangers, Jacob Trouba. Newest Calgary Flame NHL All-Star card, Jonathan Huberdeau. Kraken inaugural game, Jamie Alexiak. And base. And the final pack.
When you're talking about Duncan Keith, you're talking about Michigan State great Duncan Keith, correct?
That is the one and only Duncan Keith. That's correct.
I'm not sure if he did anything after college, but
he did a few things, but I guess some people choose to ignore that part, but that's okay. All right, so Billy, you jinxed it. We have an NHL All-Star Team card for the Vegas Golden Knights, Marc-Andre Fleury.
There you go.
Called it.
And we have our 0506 Black Diamond Rookie Gems. It's a single diamond for the Florida Panthers, Grigory Denisenko. I actually really liked him coming out of the draft and think he could be a pretty decent player for them. So that'll be an interesting one to keep an eye on. And more base. So that'll do it. That was a very fun break. Lots of cool stuff in there for sure.
A lot of variety in there, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see here. We got that Matthews SPX tribute, the Drysdale Retro Young Gun. That's a good one. Got the McTavish Triple Dimensions Reflections, which is pretty cool. Got that really nice Tanner Jeannot Gold Spectrum of the UD3, number out of 100. That's probably the big hit of the box, I would say. Got the Jimmy VC Clear Cut.
Yeah, that's your wild card.
Got the Bergeron Finite. Got that really sweet McDavid Holographics NHL card. That's probably one of my favorites. And, of course, the Seth Jarvis Young Gun Canvas, which is also a very nice card. So, yeah, like Aaron said, tons of variety in there, a lot of really cool cards, a lot of nice cards. So, yeah, what do you guys think of that break?
I think super fun. And I think you got a lot of really interesting cards there. And, fun all around for sure.
Well, I think that will pretty much do it for this review and box break of Upper Deck Extended Series. Obviously, that was a lot of fun. Always fun breaking a product like this that just has so much variety and really fun and unique content like that. So, Billy, thanks again for your time and for joining us and sharing some insight about the product. We really appreciate it.
No problem, guys. It's a pleasure as always.
So then shifting gears a little bit, we just wanted to remind you guys about the contest that we're running. And in case you guys missed episode 62, we opened up a box of 21-22 Upper Deck Series 2, which again was compliments of Upper Deck. And then, of course, we had today's break of Extended Series, which again was compliments of Upper Deck. So, as such, it's only fair to share some of those cards with you guys. So what we'll do for the giveaway is we'll pick one person to receive some of those UD2 and Extended Series cards who shares with us which card shown on episode 63 is their favorite and why. And we've referenced that episode a few times now, but obviously go back and check that one out on YouTube if you've not yet seen that. Some absolutely awesome cards, if I do say so myself, were on that episode. And yeah, just drop us a comment sharing which of those cards was your favorite and why, and you'll be entered to receive some cool cards. So be sure to do that on any of our social media. And with that, like I just said, please be sure to follow us on those aforementioned social media accounts. We can be found on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Center Ice Cardcast, and on Twitter at Center Ice CC. Please also be sure to subscribe to the show on your podcast platform of choice to make sure you never miss a future episode. Until next time on Center Ice Cardcast, keep collecting those hockey cards.